The silver knife sliced through the air before Noah even saw it coming, embedding itself in the oak table with a thud that echoed like a gunshot in the packed diner. "You're nothing but a weak link, Harlan," Wyatt snarled, his voice a low growl that silenced the room, every eye in Ridge Valley's only all-night spot turning to the Omega crumbling at his feet. Blood trickled from Noah's split lip, but it was the invisible wound, the rejection ripping through his bond, that made him double over, gasping as if the Alpha's words had clawed out his heart. Wyatt Blackwood towered over him, all broad shoulders and shadowed jawline, the scent of pine and dominance rolling off him like a territorial claim long since revoked. The pack watched from the booths, their whispers a dull roar in Noah's ears, the Beta enforcers with their smirks, the Omegas averting their eyes in pity. This was it, the public severing, the Alpha's boot on his throat after 3 years of stolen nights and whispered promises in the dusty backroads of West Texas. Noah's hands trembled as he pushed himself up, the diner's neon sign buzzing overhead like a swarm of angry hornets, casting Wyatt's face in cruel crimson light. "You think you can just end it like this?" Noah's voice cracked, barely above a whisper, but it carried the weight of a lifetime's fragile hope. Wyatt's laugh was bitter, devoid of the warmth that had once pulled Noah into his orbit during those humid summer moons when the pack ran free under starlit skies. "End it? Boy, it never started. You're not pack material. Not for me." The words landed like fists, each one bruising deeper than the last. Noah's heat scent, usually a subtle lure of warm vanilla and earth, soured in the air, drawing uneasy glances from the room. He was marked now not by claim but by discard, and in a world where alphas ruled with iron bonds that made him prey. Noah stumbled out into the night, the screen door slamming behind him like a final judgment. Ridge Valley blurred past in a haze of taillights and tumbleweeds, the flat expanse of Texas prairie stretching endless under a moon that mocked his isolation. His truck coughed to life in the gravel lot, engine protesting as if it knew the miles ahead. North. That's where the rumors whispered of packs that didn't crush the weak, of cities where Omegas could vanish into the fog. Seattle, maybe, with its endless rain washing away sins. Or further, to the wild coasts of Maine, where the pines hid secrets thicker than blood oaths. He drove through the dawn, radio crackling with country ballads that twisted the knife, songs of lost loves and unbreakable hearts. By noon, the panhandle heat gave way to Oklahoma's rolling hills, and Noah's body began its betrayal. The first cramps of withdrawal from an unclaimed bond, twisting his gut like barbed wire. He pulled over at a roadside motel, the kind with flickering vacancy signs and stains on the carpet that told stories no one wanted to hear. Collapsing onto the lumpy bed, he curled into himself, sweat soaking the sheets as visions of Wyatt plagued him. The Alpha's hands on his skin during full moons, rough and reverent, murmuring, "You're mine, Noah. Always. Lies. All of it." Hours blurred into fevered dreams. Running through cedar thickets as a pup, his first shift under Wyatt's watchful eye, the pack's howls welcoming him home. But home was a cage now, rusted shut by rejection. When he woke, the sun dipped low, painting the cheap curtains orange. His phone buzzed. Texts from packmates, pitying or scolding. "Come back. Alpha knows best. Don't make this worse." He smashed the screen against the wall, shards scattering like his fractured resolve. Packing his duffel with trembling hands, faded jeans, a worn flannel that still carried Wyatt's scent, the silver Omega bracelet his mother had left him before the cancer took her. He hit the road again. Interstate 35 northbound became his lifeline, mile markers ticking like a countdown to reinvention. Wichita Falls, then the Red River, bridges spanning chasms that mirrored the one in his chest. By Wichita, Kansas, exhaustion clawed at him, but sleep brought nightmares of Wyatt's pack circling, teeth bared, declaring him rogue. He fueled up on black coffee and gas station burritos, the clerk's sympathetic glance burning like shame. "Rough night, kid?" the man asked, his voice gravelly with years of transience. Noah forced a nod, throat too tight for words. "Rough night? Try a lifetime unraveling." As twilight bled into the plains, Noah's mind wandered to the stories his grandmother spun by the fire. Tales of omegas who fled south to the bayous or north to the evergreens, finding packs that valued heart over hierarchy. She'd been one herself, running from a cruel alpha in the Dust Bowl days, only to claim her own slice of Texas dirt. "Blood don't bind you, Noah," she'd say, her eyes sharp as flint. "Choice does." Now, with Wyatt's rejection echoing like a death knell, those words felt like a map etched in his veins. He crossed into Nebraska under a sky bruised purple, the cornfields whispering secrets in the wind. A storm rolled in off the plains, lightning forking like Wyatt's temper, thunder rumbling deep in his bones. Pulling off at a rest stop, Noah huddled in his truck cab, rain hammering the roof in relentless fury. His body ached, the bond severance manifesting as phantom pains. Itches where Wyatt's mark should have been, a hollow ache in his core that no heat could fill. Tears came then, hot and unbidden, mixing with the condensation on the window. Why him? Why build him up just to shatter him? Dawn broke gray and sodden, the Midwest flattening into endless gold. Noah pushed on, radio switching to indie folk, haunting melodies of wanderers and what-ifs that mirrored his soul. By Des Moines, Iowa, his funds dwindled to fumes, but desperation bred clarity. He ditched the interstate for backroads, winding through quaint towns with white-steepled churches and diners serving pie that tasted like nostalgia. In one such stop, a beta waitress with kind eyes slipped him an extra slice on the house. "You look like you need it, Han," she said, her Midwest twang soft as a lullaby. Noah managed a smile, the first real one in days. "Running from something?" she ventured, wiping the counter. He nodded, words failing. "We all are, in our way." The miles mounted, each one a small rebellion. South Dakota's badlands rose like ancient guardians, eroded but enduring, reminding Noah of his own scarred resilience. Mount Rushmore loomed in the distance, presidents carved in stone staring down impassively, symbols of unyielding legacy, much like the packs that dotted these lands. He wondered if Wyatt had sent trackers yet, betas sniffing his trail like hounds. The thought spurred him faster, pedal to the floor as he crested into Wyoming's wide-open vistas. Cheyenne's lights flickered welcome, but Noah bypassed the city for the interstate's cold embrace. His truck's engine whined in protest, oil light blinking like a warning flare. In a moment of reckless abandon, he pulled into a mechanic's lot on the outskirts, the sign reading Black Hills Auto, "We fix what breaks." Irony bit deep. Everything in him felt irreparably cracked. The mechanic, a grizzled alpha with grease-streaked arms and a no-nonsense gaze, eyed him warily. "Rogue," he grunted, popping the hood. Noah froze, scent giving him away, the wild tang of unclaimed omega. "Just passing through," he lied, heart pounding. The man nodded, tools clanging. "Heard of packs up north that take strays. Seattle's got a few. Or Maine if you want quiet." As the wrench turned, so did Noah's thoughts, to futures unwritten, bonds unforced. By nightfall, truck patched and wallet lighter, he roared into the Black Hills, pines closing in like conspirators. The air shifted here, cooler, laced with the promise of reinvention. Sleep claimed him in a roadside pullout, dreams fragmented. Wyatt's face morphing into shadows, then light piercing through. A figure in the mist, hand extended, voice like thunder wrapped in silk. "Come to me." He woke to frost on the windshield, breath fogging the glass. Montana's big sky unfolded, vast and unforgiving, mirroring the emptiness within. Billings came and went, a blur of motels and mirrors reflecting hollow cheeks. His beard had grown scruffy, hazel eyes shadowed with fatigue, but there was a spark there now, defiance hardening into determination. The bond pains ebbed, replaced by a restless energy, his omega instincts urging him toward the unknown. Crossing into Idaho, the land turned rugged, rivers carving canyons that echoed his inner turmoil. Coeur d'Alene's lake shimmered like liquid sapphire, tempting him to stop, to drown the past in its depths. But north called louder, a siren's song of salt air and second chances. Spokane's sprawl gave way to evergreen tunnels, the scent of damp earth filling his lungs like balm. Washington State welcomed him with drizzle, the kind that seeped into bones and softened edges. By evening, Seattle loomed, emerald city lights piercing the perpetual gray. Noah navigated the veins of traffic, skyscrapers clawing at the clouds, ferries cutting through the sound like knives through butter. He found a cheap room in Capitol Hill, the neighborhood pulsing with life. Rainbow flags fluttering from balconies, coffee shops buzzing with laughter that felt foreign yet achingly familiar. Unpacking his duffel, he stared at the Omega bracelet, its silver links cool against his wrist. A talisman, perhaps, against the chaos to come. But chaos had its own plans. That first night, wandering Pike Place under a fine mist, Noah's heat scent betrayed him again. Subtle, but enough to draw eyes. A group of betas lounged against the market stalls, their gazes lingering too long. He quickened his pace, heart racing, until a shadow detached from the alley. Tall, lean, with storm-gray eyes and a jaw carved from granite. "Easy there," the man said, voice smooth as aged whiskey, positioning himself between Noah and the pack. His scent hit like a wave. Alpha, potent with cedar and sea salt, laced with something darker, more primal. "I'm Finn," he introduced, hand extended but not demanding. Noah hesitated, then clasped it, the contact sending sparks up his arm. Finn's pack mark peeked from his collar, a rival insignia, the stylized raven of the North Cascades clan, sworn enemies to Wyatt's Texas wolves. "You smell like trouble from the south. Blackwoods, I'd wager." Noah's blood ran cold. "How?" Finn's smile was wry, edged with knowing. "We have ears everywhere. And you're fresh off the reject pile, aren't you?" Noah pulled away, but Finn's presence was a magnet, pulling him toward the unknown. They walked the waterfront, fog rolling in like a shroud, Finn's stories weaving a tapestry of pack wars and hidden alliances. "Wyatt's kind think blood buys loyalty," Finn said, leaning on the railing, city lights dancing in his eyes. "But up here we choose our chains." For the first time since the diner, Noah felt seen, not as broken goods, but as a survivor with fire in his veins. Days blurred into a tentative rhythm. Odd jobs at a harbor warehouse, nights in dive bars where Finn's pack orbited like moons. The Alpha was a revelation, wry humor masking depths of pain, his touches light but charged, never pushing. Noah's dreams shifted, Wyatt's ghost fading as Finn's silhouette took shape, but whispers followed. Scouts from the south, borders tightening. One rainy afternoon, as they hiked the trails above the city, Finn stopped, breath mingling with Noah's. "I could claim you, make you untouchable." The words hung, heavy with possibility. Noah's heart thundered. Freedom or safety, the line blurred. Yet chaos brewed beneath the surface. Finn's second, a beta named Miles with a grudge as old as the feud, eyed Noah with suspicion. "He's bait," Miles muttered one evening over beers at a Fremont pub. Finn shut him down, but the seed of doubt took root. Noah ignored it, losing himself in stolen moments. Finn's hand brushing his in the crowd, lips grazing his temple under the Space Needle's glow. Romance bloomed tentative, petals of trust unfurling in the Pacific Northwest's mist. Then the call came. A burner phone Finn had slipped him, Wyatt's voice crackling through like gravel. "Come home, Omega. This game's gone far enough." Threat laced every syllable, promises of forgiveness twisted into chains. Noah deleted the message, but it lingered, a specter in the night. Noah's first full week in Seattle unraveled like a poorly tied knot, each thread pulling him deeper into the city's embrace while the past clawed at his heels. The warehouse job was grunt work, hauling crates of salmon and crates from the docks, the metallic tang of fish mingling with the ever-present brine of the Sound. His muscles screamed in protest, but the ache was welcome, a distraction from the hollow throb where Wyatt's bond had been. Co-workers nodded in passing, their sense a neutral mix of humans and low-tier shifters, oblivious to the storm brewing in the lanky Texan with calloused hands and haunted eyes. Finn appeared like clockwork, leaning against the chain-link fence at shift's end, his leather jacket beaded with rain, that half-smile playing on his lips like he held all the secrets of the tide. "How's the grind treating you?" he'd ask, falling into step as they navigated the slick sidewalks toward the hill. Noah would shrug, words sparse, but Finn filled the silences with tales of the Cascades. Moonlit runs through fern-choked forests, rival packs skirmishing over ancient territories that spanned from the Olympics to the Canadian border. "Wyatt's old pack thinks they own the South like its manifest destiny," Finn said one evening, their boots splashing through puddles on Broadway. "But up here, land's shared. Bonds too." Those walks became Noah's anchor, the rhythm of Finn's voice syncing with the patter of rain on awnings. The alpha never pressed, never scented the air with demand. But his presence was a low hum, vibrating through Noah's skin like the bass from a passing club. One night, after a particularly grueling shift, they ducked into a hole-in-the-wall taqueria, the air thick with cumin and sizzling carne asada. Noah picked at his plate, fork tracing patterns in the rice, until Finn's boot nudged his under the table, a casual anchor. "Talk to me," Finn said softly, gray eyes steady. The dam cracked. Words tumbled out. The diner humiliation, Wyatt's knife pinning his sleeve to the table like a butterfly specimen, the pack's laughter echoing in his ears. Finn listened without interruption, his face a mask of controlled fury, fingers drumming the formica in restrained rhythm. When Noah trailed off, voice hoarse, Finn reached across, thumb brushing the back of his hand. "That's not rejection, Noah. That's fear. Wyatt's always been a coward wrapped in alpha bluster." The touch lingered, warm against the chill seeping from the window, and for a heartbeat, Noah leaned into it, the spark of something new flickering in his chest. Back at the boarding house, a creaky Victorian divided into shoebox rooms, Noah lay awake, staring at water stains on the ceiling that resembled fractured maps. Finn's scent clung to his sleeve, faint but intoxicating, stirring instincts long dormant. In the Omegaverse shadows of this modern world, where packs hid behind corporate facades and government regs on shifter rights, claims were currency, power, protection, passion. Wyatt had dangled it like a carrot, then yanked it away. Finn offered it without strings, but Noah feared entanglement, the vulnerability of another heart to shatter. The next dawn brought a shift in the air, crisper, laced with the metallic edge of incoming front. At the docks, a new face appeared. A lean beta with ink-black hair and a raven tattoo snaking up his neck, introducing himself as Miles, Finn's enforcer. "Boss says you're under watch," Miles grunted, tossing Noah a reflective vest. His gaze was appraising, not unkind, but laced with the wariness of a man who'd seen too many Southern spies. "Wyatt's got long arms. Don't make us regret this." Noah nodded, swallowing the lump of isolation. Under watch, protection, or prison. The day dragged, crates heavier under Miles' scrutiny. But by lunch, the beta softened, sharing a smoke on the pier. "Lost my brother to a reject like you once," Miles admitted, exhaling a plume that danced with gulls. "Thought he was weak. Turns out, I was blind." The confession hung, a bridge of shared scars. Noah exhaled his own smoke, the burn steadying him. "Wyatt called me a weak link. Maybe he's right." Miles snorted, flicking ash into the drink. "Alphas like him measure strength in fangs and territory. Real power's in the quiet ones, the ones who run north and don't look back." It was the closest to camaraderie Noah had felt since Texas, a crack in the armor of solitude. That evening, Finn waited with takeout, steaming bowls of pho from a Vietnamese spot tucked in the International District, the broth rich with star anise and basil. They ate on the boarding house stoop, steam rising like ghosts in the twilight, the city's hum a symphony of horns and laughter. Finn's knee brushed Noah's, deliberate now, and conversation turned personal. Finn's upbringing in a fractured pack, his rise through sheer will after his sire's betrayal. "I don't claim lightly," he said, chopsticks pausing. Last Omega I bonded with. It ended in blood. His choice, not mine. Noah's pulse quickened, the vulnerability in Finn's voice mirroring his own. And if I ran again? He whispered, the question a test. Finn's eyes darkened, not with anger, but hunger tempered by restraint. I'd let you, but I'd follow. Not to cage, to walk beside. The words wrapped around Noah like fog, softening edges he'd armored since the diner. When Finn leaned in, lips brushing his temple in a featherlight promise, Noah didn't pull away. Heat bloomed low in his belly, not the frantic burn of heat cycle, but something deeper, a claiming of choice. Nights deepened their dance. Stolen hours in Finn's loft above a mechanic's garage in Ballard. The space cluttered with engine parts and dog-eared paperbacks on Packlore. They'd sprawl on the threadbare couch, a bottle of microbrew between them, trading stories until dawn crept through the blinds. Finn's hands mapped Noah's scars, the faint one across his ribs from a puphood scrap, the emotional ones etched in tense silences. Touches escalated. Fingers threading hair, palms sliding under shirts to trace spines, breaths mingling in the dim light. Noah's body responded, arching into the contact, but his mind whispered cautions. Wyatt's ghost, the feud's shadow. One moon-swollen night, as they lay tangled on the couch, Finn's mouth found Noah's collarbone, teeth grazing without bite. Say the word, Finn murmured, voice rough with want. Noah's hands fisted in his shirt, torn between surrender and flight. Not yet, he breathed, even as his hips canted upward. Finn stilled, respect in the withdrawal, pulling him close instead. Chest to chest, heartbeats sinking like a shared pulse. But paradise had fissures. Miles' warnings grew pointed. Sightings of Southern scouts, a truck matching Wyatt's description parked too long in Pioneer Square. Pack meetings in Finn's loft turned tense. Maps unrolled across the coffee table marking borders like war zones. Noah hovered on the edges, an outsider still, his presence a lightning rod. He's drawing them here, one beta grumbled, a burly woman named Lena with a fisherman's build. Finn's retort was steel. He's one of us now. End of. Yet doubt festered. In quiet moments, Noah caught Miles' glances, calculating, laced with old wounds. And deeper, his own fears. Was he trading one alpha's shadow for another's? The bond with Finn tugged, nascent and unclaimed, a silken thread begging to tighten. Romance wove through it all, tender in the margins. Finn leaving wildflowers on the warehouse steps, notes scrawled in blocky print, thinking of your laugh. Noah's fingers lingering on the alpha's jaw during goodbye kisses that tasted of salt and possibility. Then the storm broke. Encrypted text from an unknown number. Blackwood's coming. Midnight, the locks. Wyatt's hand, reaching north. Noah showed Finn, the loft filling with the alpha's growl, plans snapping into place like trap jaws. Stay hidden, Finn ordered, cupping Noah's face. You're worth more than a skirmish. But as the pack mobilized, Noah felt the pull, fate's inexorable tide, dragging him toward confrontation. Hiding in the loft's alcove, heart hammering, Noah clutched the Omega bracelet, its links a rosary of resolve. Below, the city slept unaware, but in the shifter underbelly, chaos stirred, and in its wake, choices that would bind or break. Midnight cloaked Seattle in velvet darkness, the locks, a stretch of abandoned piers jutting into Elliott Bay like skeletal fingers, whispering with the lap of waves against barnacle-crusted pilings. Finn's pack moved like specters, shadows among the rusted shipping containers, their breaths fogged in the chill off the water. Noah watched from the loft's vantage, a cracked window framing the scene, his fingers white-knuckled on the sill. The air hummed with tension, sense clashing. Finn's cedar resolve, Miles' sharp pine suspicion, the faint, acrid trace of intruders on the wind. Wyatt's scouts arrived first, 3 betas, lean and sun-baked from Texas plains, slinking from a nondescript van with plates caked in road dust. They fanned out, noses to the ground, tracking Noah's lingering scent like bloodhounds. Lena took the first, her tackle silent and brutal, a chokehold dropping him into the shallows with a muffled splash. The second went down to a dart from Finn's blowpipe, trank, not kill, the alpha's mercy a calculated edge. But the third raised the alarm, a howl slicing the night before Miles silenced him with a crack of fist to jaw. It was enough. Headlights pierced the gloom, tires crunching gravel as reinforcements poured in. Wyatt's enforcers, half a dozen strong, their southern drawls cursing the rain-slicked deck. Finn's voice cut through, amplified by Alpha command. This is Cascade's territory. Turn back, Blackwood dogs, or bleed for it. A chorus of snarls answered, the brawl erupting in a frenzy of fists and fangs. Bodies slammed against metal, the pier groaning under the weight of grappling shifters, water churning below. Noah's breath caught as Finn waded in, a whirlwind of precision, dodging a haymaker, countering with a knee to the gut that folded his opponent double. The Alpha fought clean, no unnecessary cruelty, but his eyes blazed with feral light, protecting what he'd begun to claim. Miles flanked him, brutal efficiency in every strike, yet Noah glimpsed hesitation, a glance toward the van, as if weighing unseen odds. Pride swelled in Noah's chest, mingled with terror. This was for him, a war sparked by his flight. Then Wyatt emerged, stepping from the van like a specter from nightmare. Taller than memory painted, his frame corded with the pack's relentless drills, blonde hair slicked back, eyes cold flint under the sodium lamps. He didn't charge. Instead, he locked gazes with Finn across the melee, a silent challenge passing between rivals forged in blood feuds older than state lines. Kane, Wyatt drawled, voice carrying like smoke. Stealing scraps now? That's low, even for a raven. Finn spat blood, circling a downed foe. Scraps? Noah's worth 10 of your lapdogs. You discarded gold for fool's pyrite. The barb landed. Wyatt's lip curled, but doubt flickered. Gone in an instant as he lunged, the two alphas colliding in a clash of muscle and malice. Fists flew, grapples turning to partial shifts. Claws raking shirts to tatters, teeth bared in warning snaps. The pack fight echoed their leaders, a symphony of grunts and splashes, the bay claiming the unwary. From his perch, Noah's instincts screamed to join, Omega fire igniting despite his station. But Finn's earlier command held him, stay hidden. Helplessness gnawed, memories flashing. Wyatt's training sessions, teaching him holds now turned against kin. Guilt twisted. Had his running ignited this blaze? A cry pulled him back. Lena, pinned by two betas, her arm wrenching at an unnatural angle. Rage propelled Noah from the window, down the fire escape in a clatter of metal, feet hitting pavement before thought caught up. He burst onto the pier, a discarded crate his improvised shield, swinging it into the fray. The wood splintered against a beta's shoulder, buying Lena seconds to roll free. Get back, she snarled, but gratitude flashed in her eyes. Noah pressed on, dodging a swipe, his own shift itching under skin. Futile against hardened enforcers, but adrenaline surged like venom. Then a hand clamped his arm, Miles yanking him toward cover. Idiot, the beta hissed, but his grip was steady, propelling them behind a container stack. From the shadows, they watched Wyatt gain the upper hand, pinning Finn against a piling, forearm to throat. He's mine to break, Wyatt growled, close enough for Noah to scent his rage. Sweat and stale whiskey. Finn bucked, elbow connecting with Wyatt's ribs, but the Texan held, free hand drawing a blade. The same silver knife from the diner, glinting malevolent. Panic seized Noah. He broke from Miles, charging with a yell that tore from his gut. The distraction worked. Wyatt whirled, knife arcing, but Finn twisted free, tackling the alpha into the drink. They surfaced sputtering, grappling in the black water, waves sloshing over the edge. Noah skidded to the brink, heart in his throat, as the remaining packs disengaged. Blackwoods retreating to their van, dragging wounded, Wyatt's howl a promise of return. Finn hauled himself out, dripping and bruised, gray eyes locking on Noah's with a mix of fury and fierce pride. Told you to stay put. Noah collapsed beside him, sodden and shaking, the adrenaline crash hitting like a freight train. Couldn't watch you. Words failed, but Finn understood, pulling him into a crushing embrace, water pooling around them. The pack gathered, murmurs of victory laced with costs. Lena's arm set later, 2 ravens nursing gashes. Miles lingered at the periphery, his glance unreadable, before vanishing into the night. Back at the loft, dawn bleeding pink through the blinds, Finn tended wounds with a med kit scavenged from God knew where. Antiseptic sting on split knuckles, bandages wrapping ribs. Noah mirrored him, fingers clumsy on the alpha's skin, tracing the map of bruises like constellations. Silence stretched, heavy with unspoken, until Finn cupped his jaw, thumb smudging a smear of dried blood. You fought like pack tonight. Noah's throat tightened. Am I? Finn's kiss answered, slow, deliberate, tasting of salt and survival. It deepened, hands roaming with newfound urgency, clothes shedding in damp piles. Noah surrendered to it, body arching as Finn's mouth trailed fire down his neck, teeth grazing the claiming spot without piercing. Pleasure coiled tight, Omega instincts singing, but Finn paused, breath ragged. Only if you want. Noah's nod was fervent, pulling him down, the bond igniting like dry tinder, claimed at last, in a rush of heat and heart. After, tangled in sheets that smelled of them, Noah traced the raven tattoo on Finn's shoulder, its wings spread in eternal flight. What now? He murmured, vulnerability raw. Finn's arm tightened. A fortress. We hold. They come again, we stand. But in the quiet, Noah glimpsed the fracture. Miles slipping in later, reporting to Finn in hushed tones, his eyes flicking to Noah with shadowed intent. Trust, fragile as sea glass, threatened to shatter. Days healed into uneasy normalcy. Noah's shifts at the warehouse resumed, but now with raven escorts, subtle, woven into the dockside bustle. Romance with Finn flourished in stolen pockets. Lazy mornings over diner pancakes, hikes in Discovery Park where hands linked under canopy, kisses tasting of pine sap. The claim bond hummed, a golden thread linking their pulses, easing the old voids. Yet Wyatt's shadow loomed. Encrypted messages warned of escalation, packs mobilizing south of the border. One evening, as rain lashed the loft windows, Finn unrolled a faded map, yellowed edges marking ancestral lines from Cascades to Gulf Coast. The feud started generations back, he explained, finger tracing red-inked skirmishes. Land grabs, betrayed claims. Wyatt's sire killed mine. Noah absorbed it, the weight of history pressing. And me? I'm just the spark. Finn's smile was wry. Nah, you're the flame. But flames draw moths. Miles' demeanor chilled. Conversations clipped. Absences unexplained. Noah confronted him one dockside break. Rain sheeting off their hoods. What's your beef? Miles' jaw ticked, eyes hard. You bring war to our door. Finn's blind. Thinks a pretty Omega mends old wounds. The words stung, echoing Wyatt's dismissal, but Noah held ground. Or maybe I mend what's broken in him. Miles' laugh was hollow. Careful, Harlan. Some breaks don't heal. Doubt seated, Noah confided in Finn that night, bodies entwined post-love, the alpha's fingers soothing tension from his back. Miles is loyal, Finn assured, but hesitation lingered in his tone. Trust fractures widened when a scout's report came. Wyatt amassing at the Oregon line, a full incursion brewing. Pack council convened, voices rising in the loft, strategies debated, alliances whispered to neighboring clans. In the melee's eye, Noah found clarity. He wasn't pawn or prize. He was the Axis choice incarnate. As full moon waxed, casting silver through cracks, he slipped the bracelet onto Finn's wrist, a vow of equals. We're in this, Noah said, hazel eyes fierce. Finn's kiss sealed it, passion reigniting, bodies moving in syncopated rhythm, claiming each other anew. Yet chaos coiled tighter. A midnight knock. Miles, face ashen, bearing news of betrayal within. One of ours sold coordinates. The room iced. Ice turned, suspicions flaring. Noah felt the gaze heaviest on him. The Southerners sent a perpetual accusation. As Pax braced for storm, Noah wondered. In the heart of feud, could love forge peace, or would it fuel the blaze? The betrayal stench permeated the loft like sour milk, curdling the air as the pack huddled around the scarred oak table, faces etched in lantern light. Miles paced, boots thudding like accusations, his raven tattoo seeming to writhe with each turn. Got it from a contact in Portland. Southern Gold changed hands for our patrol routes. Murmurs rippled. Lena's curse low and venomous. A younger beta named Cole shifting uneasily, his fingers drumming a nervous tattoo. Finn sat at head, jaw clenched granite, gray eyes scanning the room. Not for guilt, but resolve. Noah leaned against the wall, arms crossed to hide the tremor in his hands. The claim bond with Finn pulsing like a live wire under his skin. Every gaze skimmed him, lingering just a beat too long, the outsider, the Omega whose arrival coincided with the rot. He met them evenly, chin lifted, but inside, old wounds wept. Wyatt's dismissal replaying, the pack's pity turning to scorn. Was history rhyming, rejection's echo in this northern haven? Names, Finn demanded, voice alpha-edged, brooking no evasion. Miles rattled off details. A drop in a Rainier Valley motel. Anonymous wire transfer traced to a Blackwood Shell LLC. It's internal. Someone with access. Suspicion coiled like smoke, eyes darting. Cole paling under scrutiny. Lena's glare fixed on a silent elder named Harlan. No relation but the coincidence biting. Noah's stomach nodded. He'd caught Harlan's sidelong looks during runs. Whispers of Texan taint. The council broke at dawn. Assignments barked. Double patrols, comms lockdowns, a mole hunt veiled as drills. Finn pulled Noah aside in the alcove, hands framing his face, thumbs tracing cheekbones slick with unshed tension. This isn't on you, the alpha murmured, forehead to forehead, sense mingling in reassurance. Cedar grounding vanilla. Noah wanted to believe, leaning into the hold, but doubt's whisper persisted. If I'm the reason. Finn's kiss silenced it, fierce and claiming, tongues tangling with desperate edge. You're the reason we fight smarter. Together. Days devolved into siege mentality. Warehouse shifts shortened. Noah paired with Lena on inventory, her broken arm slung, but spirit unbowed, her banter a bomb. Ignore the stairs, pup, she said, stacking crates with one-handed efficiency. Packs eat their own when scared. Doesn't make it truth. Her words stuck, a lifeline amid the chill. Evenings brought strategy sessions in Finn's loft, maps updated with red pins like blood drops, tales of past incursions shared over takeout cooling on plates. Romance persisted, a defiant bloom in barren soil. Finn stole him away to Alki Beach one twilight, the sound's waves lapping like confessions, sunset painting the Olympics in fire. They walked barefoot in the surf, pants rolled, Finn's arms slung casual over shoulders, fingers toying with damp curls. Remember your first run with me? Finn asked, voice soft against the crash. Noah nodded, smiling faint. The memory of fern trails, moon high, bodies sinking in wolf form, bond thrumming wild. Felt like flying. Finn halted, turning him, saltwater eyes intense. That's us, unchained. Their kiss tasted of brine and promise, deepening as hands wandered, hidden by dusk's veil. Back home, passion unspooled slow, Finn mapping every inch with reverence, mouth worshipping scars, eliciting gasps that echoed off rafters. Noah arched, nails raking back, the claim mark on his neck throbbing in sync with Finn's pulse. Mine, Finn growled, not possession but prayer, and Noah echoed it, legs wrapping, bodies joining in rhythm as timeless as tides. Afterglow brought whispers, dreams of a cabin in the Cascades, Pack rebuilt on choice, not conquest. But Idol fractured under pressure. Cole cracked first, cornered by Miles during a warehouse stakeout, his alibi crumbling like wet paper. "It wasn't me," the beta protested, voice cracking, but evidence mounted. Late-night calls, flushed accounts. The pack hauled him to the loft, Finn's interrogation measured but unrelenting, Cole's denials fracturing into sobs. "Harlan, he promised amnesty if I fed scraps. Said the Omega was leverage." Noah's blood iced. Harlan, the elder, vanished at dawn, his scent trail leading south. Betrayal's blade twisted deeper. Miles' hunt had flushed the mole, but cost trust's fragile weave. Whispers turned venom. How'd the Texan know our weak spots? Noah endured head high during runs, but isolation crept, packmates' nods curt. Finn shielded him, alpha presence a bulwark, but strain showed, dark circles under eyes, touches lingering protective. Wyatt's move came swift, a feint at the I-5 corridor, decoy trucks drawing ravens south while the real thrust hit from the east. Speedboats slicing the sound under cover of fog, enforcers scaling the piers like phantoms. Alarms blared at 3 a.m., Finn bolting from bed, Noah scrambling after, claim bond alerting like sonar. The loft emptied into chaos, packs clashing on rain-slick docks, gunfire popping rare but lethal, shifters dodging in hybrid forms. Noah armed with a crowbar, heart pounding, stuck to Finn's flank as they repelled boarders. The alpha was a force, claws extended, felling two with swipes that sprayed mist and blood. But numbers pressed. A beta tackled Noah, weight crushing, hot breath reeking of cheap bourbon. "Blackwood sends regards." The man sneered, fist rising. Panic surged, but memory flashed Wyatt's training, leverage and twist. Noah bucked, knee driving home, crowbar cracking skull. The body slumped, and he rose gasping, Finn's roar of approval cutting through. The tide turned at dawn, Blackwood's withdrawing with howls of frustration, leaving bodies and burning skiffs in their wake. Victory tasted ashen, casualties mounted. Lena clawed deep, Cole's redemption bought with a gut wound. In the aftermath, as medics from allied packs arrived, Finn pulled Noah into a shadowed warehouse, backs to crates, breaths ragged. "You saved my flank," the alpha panted, hands roaming frantic, reassurance in every graze. Need ignited, urgent against the adrenaline crash. Kisses bruising, clothes shoved aside, joining rough and raw on the cold floor, claim bond flaring supernova, anchoring them amid ruin. Word spread. Wyatt himself led the raid, vanishing unscathed, his scent laced with something new, desperation, perhaps, or deeper malice. Intercepted chatter hinted at alliance plays, Blackwood's courting Columbia River packs for a pincer. Finn's council reconvened, tempers flaring, Miles advocating scorched borders, Lena pushing diplomacy. Noah spoke up, voice steady. "Hit them where it hurts. Cut the gold flow. Starve the beast." Eyes turned, respect flickering. His outsider view, honed by rejection's forge, carried weight. Yet personal storms brewed. Miles confronted Noah post-meet, grip iron on his arm in the alley. "You think you're in? One slip, and Finn bleeds for your baggage." Venom dripped, old grudge bared. Miles' brother, lost to a southern claim gone sour. Wyatt's shadow in the blame. Noah yanked free, hazel fire meeting storm. "Blame me if it mends you, but I'm not running." Miles' laugh barked, but he backed off, fracture mending slight. As moon waned, romance deepened roots. Finn surprised with a drive to Snoqualmie Falls. Mist veiling the roar, hands linked on the overlook. "Marry me," he said sudden. Not shifter vow but human right. A legal knot in this regulated world, equality's quiet rebellion. Noah's yes trembled, sealing with a kiss that drowned the cascade. Bodies later entwined in a roadside motel, slow and sacred, exploring facets of love beyond instinct. But chaos escalated. A package arrived at the warehouse, Wyatt's knife, wrapped in bloodied flannel. Note scrawled, "Come south, or Kane's pack burns." Threat's hook sank deep, pulling Noah toward crossroads. Finn raged, vowing counterstrike, but Noah saw the ploy, divide to conquer. In the loft's hush, he traced Finn's sleeping face, resolve hardening. Freedom's price was steep, but worth every scar. As borders bristled, Noah prepared to face the past, claim his north, and redefine chaos on his terms. The knife's arrival hung like a guillotine blade over the pack, its silver edge catching light in the loft like a taunt from the grave. Finn hurled it across the room, embedding in the wall with a thunk that mirrored the diner's echo, his growl reverberating off beams. "Bastard thinks he can summon you like a dog?" The alpha's eyes blazed, hands fisting in his hair, pacing the creak of floorboards. Noah retrieved the blade, fingers steady despite the tremor in his chest, the flannel's fabric soft against scars. Wyatt's scent faint but insidious, stirring ghosts. "It's bait," Noah said, voice level, meeting Finn's storm with calm sea. The pack murmured agreement, clustered around the table strewn with takeout wrappers and half-empty mugs, the air thick with coffee and tension. Lena nodded, sling discarded, her arm flexing experimental. "Pulls us south," leaves the sound open. Miles leaned forward, elbows on knees, his earlier venom tempered by the raid's forge. "Or forces Harlan's hand, run or fight." Eyes flicked to Noah, no longer sidelong but direct, the mole hunt's purge knitting loose threads. Noah weighed the note's weight, words burned into memory. "Come south or Kane's pack burns." Not threat to him but to Finn's kin, the clever twist striking at protection's core. Claim bond thrummed, a dual heartbeat urging action, but flight's instinct warred, whispering of endless roads north to Maine's untamed shores. "I go alone," Noah proposed, the words landing like stones in still water. Ripples spread. Finn's halt mid-pace, gray eyes narrowing. Miles' snort of disbelief. Cole, bandaged and pale, shaking head. "No," Finn snapped, closing distance, hands gripping Noah's shoulders, firm, not crushing. "We face this as pack." But Noah saw the fear beneath, alpha armor cracking. Losing him would unravel more than bond. "It's my mess. Let me clean it." Argument ensued, voices overlapping in the loft's confines. Lena advocating stealth insertion, Miles pushing full assault. Dawn broke unresolved, sun gilding the sound in reluctant gold, as scouts reported Blackwood movements. Convoys massing in Vancouver, whispers of human authorities bought off for pest control. Isolation pressed Noah in the interim, warehouse duties wrote. The crowbar's weight a poor substitute for resolve. Co-workers sensed the shift, their neutral chatter turning sympathetic. A human dockhand slipping him an extra sandwich, murmuring, "Heard the howls last night. Stay safe, kid." Noah nodded, throat tight, the city's undercurrent of empathy a novel balm. Evenings brought clandestine planning. Finn and he poring over satellite feeds on a pilfered laptop, tracing routes through Cascades passes, bolt holes marked in Allied territories. Romance threaded the strain, a lifeline of tenderness. One fog-shrouded morn, Finn woke him with breakfast in bed, burnt toast and scrambled eggs, served with a grin that crinkled eyes. "Fuel for fugitives," the alpha quipped, feeding him bites between kisses that lingered sweet. Laughter bubbled, rare and precious, easing knots as sheets tangled anew. Morning light slanting across skin, hands exploring lazy, love's language in sighs and shivers. "Whatever comes," Finn whispered post-climax, nose to nose. "You're my north." Noah's heart swelled, bond glowing warm, but reality intruded. The knife on the nightstand, a sentinel of reckoning. Miles thawed incrementally, a shared patrol through Fremont's canal's forging tentative bridge. "Saw your swing in the raid," the beta admitted, oars dipping rhythmic in murky water. "Reminded me of my brother, Scrappy held his own." Noah rode in sync, sweat beating despite chill. "Wyatt broke him too?" Miles' nod was grim. Claimed, then discarded when war called. Hung himself after. Silence stretched, heavy with shared ghosts, until Miles added, "Don't let Kane down like that." Trust budded, fragile but real. The decision crystallized midweek, pack vote swaying to Noah's solo play. Cloaked in raven scents, a decoy convoy drawing eyes south. Finn protested fiercest, argument escalating to shouts in the loft, hands gesturing wild. "You're walking into his jaws." Accusation flew. Noah's stubbornness a Texan trait, Finn's protectiveness alpha hubris. It peaked in raw honesty. Noah confessing the diner's shame, Wyatt's knife not just metal but symbol of emasculation. Finn bearing his sire's murder, vowing no more losses. Catharsis broke them open, collapsing into embrace, kisses turning fervent, bodies seeking solace in union. Urgent, tears salting skin, reaffirming life's pulse amid death's shadow. Preparations accelerated. A nondescript sedan packed with go-bags, trank darts hidden in door panels, burner phones synced to pack net. Lena gifted a switchblade, engraved with raven wings, for the cuts that don't show. Cole, recovering, pressed a talisman. A polished agate from the falls, for clear sight. Even Miles contributed. A encrypted GPS fob. Gruff. "Don't make me regret this." Pack solidarity solidified, Noah no longer fringe but fiber. Departure dawned gray, drizzle veiling the I-5 southbound as Noah slipped the city. Finn's last kiss branding lips at the on-ramp. 2 days to the Meat Ridge Valley outskirts. Will shadow. Bond stretched but held, a tether across miles. The drive unwound like reverse exodus. Washington greens yielding to Oregon's coastal fog. Then inland aridities echoing home. Radio scans static, indie tracks fading to country ghosts. Noah skipping stations, throat aching with suppressed memory. Night fell in a Medford motel, anonymous as sin, where Noah paced, blade in hand, rehearsing confront. Dreams plagued, Wyatt's face morphing to Finn's, rejection's knife plunging true. Morning brought resolve, pushing into California's sprawl. Vineyards scrolling past like verdant lies, the Pacific a distant shimmer. Sacramento's bustle blurred, a trucker at a Denny's nodding recognition. Smell like trouble, sun. But no pursuit yet. The border neared, Texas air thickening with humidity ghosts, Noah's scent shifting, Omega wild with purpose. He ditched the interstate for backroads, dust devils dancing like omens. Heart pounding as Ridge Valley's sign loomed. "Welcome home." Home? The word soured. He parked in a scrub lot, coordinates pinpointed to an abandoned oil derrick, moonrise ticking like a bomb. Wyatt waited alone, or so it seemed, silhouetted against rusting beams, broad frame unchanged, but lines etched deeper around mouth. "You came," he said, voice low thunder, no triumph but hunger. Noah stepped forward, blade palmed, Bond with Finn a distant hum. "Not for you. For peace." Wyatt's laugh was hollow, stepping closer, scent overwhelming. Pine dominance laced with desperation. "Peace? You ran to my enemy. Let him mark what's mine." Argument ignited, words weapons. Wyatt justifying rejection as mercy. Pack needed strength, not your fragility. Noah countering with truths unearthed in North's mirror. "You feared my light outshone your dark." Tension crackled. Physical now, Wyatt's hand shooting to wrist, knife clattering. Struggle ensued, dust kicking, until Noah twisted free, partial shift claws raking arm. Enough! But shadows stirred. Ambush, Blackwood betas emerging, grins feral. Noah's heart sank. Solo ploy pierced. Then howls pierced night. Raven pack, Finn at vanguard, crashing the trap like avengers. Chaos erupted. Fur and Fong. Derek groaning under leaps. Moon witness to melee. Noah fought beside Finn, back to back. Claim Bond sinking strikes. Telepathic edge in chaos. Wyatt cornered them. Blade drawn. Eyes mad with loss. "He's mine." Lunge met parry. Alphas clashing as Noah flanked. loyalty's fire burning. The turning blow came from Miles, dart felling Wyatt mid-swing. Redemption's arc, Beta's loyalty proven. Blackwood's scattered, Alpha captive, the night tilting to ravens. In Aftermath's hush, Finn bound Wyatt, gaze on Noah soft amid steel. You faced him. Noah nodded, exhaustion crashing, leaning into embrace as Pack secured the field. Victory's dawn broke, but costs tallied. Wounds, a Beta down. As convoy rolled north, Wyatt in tow, Noah traced the bracelet on Finn's wrist, chaos yielding to calm. Yet whispers hinted deeper plots. Wyatt's alliance talks, feud's roots unsevered. Homeward bound, love's anchor held, but storms loomed eternal. The convoy snaked north under pre-dawn veil, tail lights stringing like fireflies through Texas scrub. Wyatt trussed in the sedan's trunk. Gagged with his own bandana, eyes promising hellfire through the rear view's stolen glances. Finn drove lead, knuckles white on wheel, jaw set in grim line, while Noah rode shotgun, the claim bond a steady thrum countering adrenaline's ebb. Miles brought up rear, his dart gun redemption earning nods, the Beta's profile sharp against passing semis, a silent vow etched in vigilance. Ridge Valley receded like a bad dream, its dust-choked roads giving way to interstate blacktop, the flatlands' monotony, a canvas for reflection. Noah's body ached. Claws retract itch, bruises blooming purple. But deeper, catharsis settled, Wyatt's words dust in wind. He broke first, Noah murmured, hand finding Finn's thigh, squeeze grounding. The Alpha covered it, thumb circling soothing. You remade yourself. That's the win. Oregon's forests closed welcoming. Evergreens whispering absolution as the sun crested, gilding needles gold. Pit stops blurred. Gas in Eugene, where a barista's double espresso chased ghosts. Lunch in Salem, diner pie shared with Lena over war stories, her laugh booming as she mimed Wyatt's dunk. Pack banter lightened load, Cole's quips eliciting groans. Miles even cracking a rare smile at a botched joke. Solidarity forged in fire, Noah woven tight, no longer thread, but warp. Yet Wyatt's capture stirred undercurrents. Interrogations began en route, Finn pulling over at a rest area ringed by ponderosis. The trunk's pop revealing a snarling Alpha, unbound but flanked by enforcers. Talk alliances, Finn demanded, voice even, gray eyes boring. Wyatt spat dirt, blonde hair matted, defiance cracking at edges. Columbia River wolves, old debts called in. Your boy's the key. Unclaim him, truce holds. Lie or lure. Noah stepped forward, Hazel steady. No one's key but their own. Wyatt's gaze softened fraction. Regret? Before hardening. You were mine once. Finn's growl cut it, slamming trunk. More miles, more riddles. Seattle welcomed with downpour, the sounds chop mirroring turmoil as they hauled Wyatt to a secure warehouse in Soto. Reinforced with shifter wards, human blinders. Pack elders convened, faces grave around a folding table, air humming with incense to mask sense. Lena advocated exile, Miles' execution, grudges echo. Finn mediated, proposing leverage, trade for border peace, intel on plots. Noah listened, then spoke. Hear him out. Break the cycle. Murmurs rose, but Finn's nod sealed it. Council's compromise. A parley under neutral moon. Romance bloomed in lulls, a counterpoint to storm. That first night back, loft sanctuary. Finn drew a bath in the clawfoot tub. Salts from Pike Place, steam curling like invitation. Noah sank in, sighs escaping as Alpha's hands soaped shoulders, massaging knots with deliberate care. Missed this. Finn breathed, lips to nape, kisses trailing vertebrae. Water sloshed as Noah turned, pulling him in. Clothes soddening, laughter bubbling, bodies aligning slick and slow. Love unhurried, gazes locked, whispers of forever amid splashes. Bond deepening to soul tether. Days cycled. Guard shifts on Wyatt, Noah volunteering to probe, face-to-face in the warehouse's dim, chain-link cell, the alpha's form gaunt under fluorescence. Why? Noah asked first, not accusation but quest. Wyatt's laugh rasped, head hanging. Feared you'd eclipse me. Pack saw weakness in my choice. Confession unspooled. Insecurities masked as strength. Sire's legacy a yoke. Noah listened, echoes of his own fractures resonating. Choice heals. Let go. Wyatt's eyes searched, a spark of absolution flickering before pride banked it. External pressures mounted. Columbia scouts probed borders, drones buzzing cascades like hornets, forcing patrols to double. Finn's exhaustion showed. Sleepless nights planning, touches turning possessive, as if anchoring against tide. One evening, post-shift, he collapsed on the couch, pulling Noah atop, faces inches. Marry me proper, he reiterated, ring box materializing. Simple band, silver with raven inlay, tears pricked. Noah's yes fervent, sealed with kiss turning carnal. Couch springs protesting as urgency built. Hips grinding, releases crashing like waves, afterglow vows etched in sweat. But betrayal's shadow lingered. A warehouse breach attempt. Slashed locks, guards tranked, pointed to inside job, suspicions reigniting. Miles cleared swift, alibi ironclad, but Cole faltered under quiz, his wound reopening in stress. Not me, he swore, but alibis frayed. Noah defended, memory of his raid stand firm, but doubt's worm burrowed. Pack fractures widened, whispers of southern curse slithering. Parley night arrived under gibbous moon, neutral ground at a decommissioned mill on the Duwamish, neutral alphas mediating. Wyatt, cleaned and chained, faced Finn across scarred planks, packs flanking like sentinels. Tensions crackled, scents clashing. Pine versus cedar, South's dry heat against North's damp. Negotiations ground. Borders redrawn, claims honored, no reprisals. Wyatt balked at Noah's freedom, eyes pleading across divide. One last bond, he bartered, voice raw. Finn's refusal thundered, but Noah interjected. No bonds but chosen. Stalemate shattered when gunfire erupted. Ambush, Columbia wolves bursting from shadows, Tommies barking in modern twist. Chaos reigned. Bullets pinging metal, shifters dodging in dives, partial forms lunging. Finn shielded Noah, clawing a gunman down, blood hot on air. Wyatt broke free in melee, not fleeing but fighting beside. Redemption's surge, tackling a foe from Noah's blindside. Bullets whined, a stray grazing Finn's shoulder. Alphas roar pain and rage. Noah fired back. Lena's blade no match, but scavenged pistol barking true, dropping an assailant. Miles covered Cole. Beta pair synced in frenzy, loyalty proven. The tide turned brutal. Ravens overwhelming, Columbia retreating with howls, leaving dead and dying. Wyatt, wounded in flank, slumped against beam, gaze on Noah appraising. You lead now, he rasped, no bitterness. Finn staunched his own flow, binding Wyatt's impromptu truce forged in fire. Aftermath tallied grim. 3 ravens down, alliances shattered further. Wyatt stabilized, earned provisional stay, exile deferred, intel traded for grace. Pack reeled, funerals planned under evergreens, Noah eulogizing a fallen beta, words on loss and legacy drawing nods. Finn healed slow, shoulder sling mirroring Lena's old, but romance endured, hospital bedside vigils turning tender, stolen caresses under sheets, love's whisper. We endure, yet chaos crested. Intercepted missive revealed Wyatt's ploy unwitting. Columbia's solo grab for territory, using feud as cover. Parley intel exposed deeper web. Human syndicates arming packs, regs crumbling. Finn's counsel pivoted to diplomacy broad, Noah's voice rising. Outreach to neutrals, Omega's rights rallied. Personal stakes peaked as wedding neared. Simple ceremony in Discovery Park. Vows under canopy. Rings exchanged amid pack cheers. But eve of confrontation loomed. Wyatt, seeking Noah alone in warehouse gloam. Forgive? The ex-alpha asked, vulnerability bared. Noah weighed, heart heavy. Not forgive, release. Handshake sealed. Chains metaphor shed. Dawn brought union. Finn and Noah bound legal. Shifter right under moon. Bodies celebrating later in loft frenzy. Passion's torrent. Cries echoing joy. Chaos quelled not, but tamed, borders held. Feuds simmered to embers. Noah, once rejected, now anchored, traced future in Finn's eyes. Pack rebuilt, North's wild calling. Freedom's taste, bittersweet, lingered. The wedding's afterglow faded into autumn's crisp bite. Seattle's leaves turning riot of amber and rust, mirroring the pack's tentative thaw. Finn's shoulder mended under Lena's herbal poultices. Scar a silver crescent peeking from collars. A badge of battles won. Noah wore his ring like armor. The band's weight a constant hum against the claim mark's pulse. Their union a beacon in the loft's clutter. Photos pinned to fridge of the ceremony. Packmates grinning amid ferns. Vows etched in memory's grain. Daily rhythms reasserted, but laced with vigilance. Warehouse runs now with embedded scouts. Finn's mechanic shop buzzing with repairs on raid-damaged rides. Wyatt integrated uneasy. Assigned border watch south. His intel gold in mapping Columbia threats. But glances lingered on Noah. A mix of remorse and unresolved ache. Pack accepted gradual. Cole's jests easing tensions. Miles nods grudging but genuine. Ex-enemies better than new foe. The beta quipped one patrol. Rifle slung casual. Romance deepened roots. Finn and Noah carving domesticity from chaos. Mornings dawned with coffee brewed strong. Shared over the sink. Lips brushing foam. Hands wandering to hips. Quickies against counters before duties called. Evenings brought hikes in the Olympics. Boots crunching moss. Conversations meandering from pack politics to dreams unspoken. Adopting stray pups. A cabin off-grid where moons ran free. One twilight, atop a ridge overlooking the sound. Finn pulled a chain from pocket. Wyatt's knife, hilt reworked with raven engraving. Turn poison to tool, he said, clasping it around Noah's neck. The weight grounded, symbol reclaimed. Yet undercurrents swirled. Human news flickered on Loft TV. Shifter rights bills stalling in Congress. Syndicates exposed in raids from Portland to Baton Rouge. Finn's council expanded outreach. Alliances with urban neutrals in Portland. Quiet talks with Wyatt's old betas defecting north. Noah emerged voice, penning anonymous op-eds for underground rags. Words on Omega agency cutting through hierarchy's veil. Rejection taught me. Bonds break, but spirits bend. One read, circulating like wildfire among hidden networks. Personal reckonings crested quiet. Wyatt sought Noah out post-patrol. Scrub lot under harvest moon. Air heavy with sage. Saw your ceremony from afar. The ex-alpha admitted. Stance loose. No dominance play. Noah nodded, chain cool against skin. Join next time. Wyatt's laugh was self-deprecating. Earned that. Confession followed. Therapy with a pack healer. Unpacking sire's abuse. Rejection's root in fear's soil. You were light I couldn't hold. Noah absorbed, no absolution rushed. Lights shared now. Find your own. Handshake lingered. Fracture mending to scar, release, not reconciliation. Chaos's final coil tightened mid-November. A tip from Wyatt's contacts. Columbia Alpha. A brute named Harlan, ironic echo. Plotting summit sabotage. Arms deal in Everett shipyards. Pack mobilized swift. Finn leading strike team. Noah insisting flank. Partner not protected, he argued, Hazel firm. Finn relented. Kiss fierce farewell. Raid unfolded midnight. Fog cloaking docks. Shifters ghosting cranes. Whispers over comms. Ambush flipped. Ravens swarming. Harlan's crew caught mid-handshake with human smugglers. Crates of trank rounds and silver loads spilling. Fight brutal but brief. Finn's claws felling Harlan in alpha duel. Blood slicking planking. Noah's pistol dropping a gunman. Steady hand born of diner nights. Miles covered extraction. Darting stragglers. Loyalty's arc complete. Wyatt, on perimeter, took a bullet grazing shallow, but Bond's ghost stirred Noah's concern, binding the wound en route. Old debts paid, Wyatt grunted, pain-twisted grin. Victory consolidated. Syndicates busted. Intel flooding lines. Feuds fuel-starved. Aftermath brought healing's tide. Funerals for fallen few. Graves under Cascades pines. Howls keening loss. Noah spoke at one, voice carrying. They died for choice, for a north where we claim ourselves. Pack echoed, unity forged. Finn proposed expansion. Omega Council, rights codified in Pack Charter. Noah at helm. Romance celebrated in quiet. Cabin weekend. Snow dusting eaves. Fire crackling as bodies twined on bearskin. Slow explorations mapping futures. Whispers of family. Legacy beyond blood. Winter deepened. Seattle's gray lifting to rare blue. Noah's reflection in loft mirror showing changed man. Shoulders squared. Eyes clear. Beard trimmed with Finn's clippers. Rejection's scar faded. North's claim a tapestry of scars and stars. Wyatt departed spring, heading east to neutral lands. Last words, run true, Harlan. Nod exchanged, paths diverged clean. Years blurred. Pack thrived, alliances webbing coast to coast. Noah and Finn's home a haven. Pups romping fern trails, laughter echoing old doubts. Chaos tamed to rhythm, love's steady beat. In quiet moments, bracelet glinting, Noah traced Finn's ring, gratitude's ache sweet. Rejected once, claimed twice, by choice, by heart. Freedom's wild, compassion's bridge, identity's flame. Lessons etched eternal.